Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. More specifically, we do a little bit of alternate ending. Yeah, this be their Royal Rug Pilsner, single decocted Royal Rug alternate ending brew company. It is a Lebowski influenced jam. Should have got a little bit more light on myself, but what are you gonna do? 4.8%. Yeah, that's all I've got. All their beers have like a movie thing to them because they're in an old movie theater. I can get down with that. I will be one of the few to say, Big Lebowski's okay. I like it. I think it's a fun movie. I don't get the crazy love for it though. Otherwise, it's cool. I dig the artwork on the stuff that they do. Hopefully, you can see that pretty decently. Being in the shed here, wish I had a little bit more light. Beer-wise, that looks all a part of pretty much like an unfiltered kind of dropped out unfiltered is what I'm trying to say, kind of like craft kind of Pilsner, because it does have a little bit of like soft little haze to it. Strong color, probably looks a little bit, no, it looks proper. I can see myself up there, by the way, that's why I keep looking up there. Proper color on the camera. Soft little head on it, nothing too crazy. See if we can get a nose in the sucker. I smelled this when I opened a can. There's a sulfur, a big sulfur component to this. I'm getting like almost like a charred, burnt, roasted malt with a little bit of soft sulfuriness. So not the best nose in the world. Maybe this will kind of blow off as it goes, and it might not really show up on the actual taste itself. But it has this soft little sulfury thing, this little bit of kind of overly roasted, overly toasted kind of maltiness to it. Almost like you're talking about a Pilsner, it comes off more as like two-row kind of crystal malty as opposed to just a regular kind of Pilsner malt. But yeah, doesn't smell bad, just kind of has that like Pilsner, okay, a little bit different than what I'm expecting. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Yeah, really nothing there as far as negative actually on the taste itself. It really is that nose that kind of sets you up in a weird little place. It definitely leans a little bit more hefty on a Pilsner side. It's not really confused with a crispy boy, but I believe that's pretty much because it's all kind of malt derived. It's very much kind of a malt forward kind of Pilsner. Almost comes off more to me like a Maibach or some kind of fest beer as opposed to just a Pilsner. It is called a straight up just single decocted Pilsner, but it just really does come off as something a little bit beefier. Maybe even Vienna lager or something like that. It just doesn't really ring like an old school kind of Pilsner in general. Nice bittering to it. Definitely pretty sturdy. Nothing too hyper aggressive as far as a sweetness on it. But you get that toasty maltiness that comes off a little bit, like I said, a little bit more kind of Maibach-y, fest beery for me. And that nice kind of bittering, which is, kind of old school kind of bittering. Fugly, Golding, Zazie, that kind of stuff. Nothing too fruity, nothing too showy or anything like that. It really is just a malt core hopped up appropriate level, nothing over the top, kind of getting a checky level kind of bittering to it, done and done. Really, if I kind of think about this beer as a whole, it's quite tasty and I really do like it. If I kind of strip away that nose, the initial nose on it, which honestly really is not showing that much of that little bit of sulfury thing going on, so it probably just kind of blew off. It does have that little toasted maltiness comes off a little bit, but less than that actually on the taste. But it's really kind of trying to kind of dig my brain out of the word Pilsner on this. It just doesn't really come off as a Pilsner for me. Listen, it's a lager. You can call it a Pilsner, whatever you want to do it, but it's just for some reason for me it comes off as a little bit more malty, a little bit more kind of like a fest beery, fall beery, kind of like Baki, kind of my Baki kind of range to it. So that's me kind of just nitpicking, kind of being like, well, it doesn't really come off of what I would expect from a classic style Pilsner, whether it be Czech or American or any of that stuff, but it's tasty. And I guess The whole shebang is about it. Is it tasty? Yes, it is. Is it like one of the best lager slash pilsners that I've had as of late? It's worthy of being in a conversation. It's not Mount Rushmore status. I like it. It's tasty. It will certainly be drank. Just has this, maybe the name is a sticking point for me. Maybe if you call it something else, I give it a little bit kind of more Mount Rushmore status kind of pub. But in the grand scheme of things, you push this in front of me at a table, you give me a 16, 20 ounces of this, I'm a happy camper, especially at its ABV level. Done and done. So there you go. A little bit alternate ending. Royal Rug Pilsner. Have you had this? Have you been to alternate ending? Have you watched the movie there? Any of that stuff. Let me know what you think about the brewery, about the beer, about the style, the whole nine. And there you go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the echoey review. Hopefully you're enjoying a good beer right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.